Clashes of strength, Rome versus Germania. The prolonged and intense struggle between the Roman Empire and the Germanic tribes was a clash of vastly different civilizations. Rome, with its disciplined legions, centralized authority, and imperial ambitions, faced the Germanic tribes, characterized by decentralized leadership, warrior culture, and intimate knowledge of their terrain. These battles, spanning centuries, were as much about military supremacy as they were about the resilience of identity and culture. Below, we explore the defining moments and themes of this epic confrontation. 1. A battle of worlds, Rome's expansion into Germania. Rome's vision. During the reign of Augustus, Rome viewed Germania as the next frontier for expansion. The goal was to extend the empire's boundaries beyond the Rhine, bringing the Germanic tribes under Roman control. Germania's resistance. The Germanic tribes, fiercely independent and united only when threatened, rejected Roman rule. Their decentralized leadership and guerrilla tactics presented a stark contrast to Rome's reliance on discipline, infrastructure, and logistical superiority. 2. The Battle of Teutoburg Forest, 9 CE. The event, led by Arminius, a Cheruscan chieftain and former Roman ally, a coalition of Germanic tribes ambushed 3 Roman legions under Publius Quinctilius Varus in the dense Teutoburg forest. Using the terrain to their advantage, the Germanic warriors annihilated the Roman forces, killing over 15,000 soldiers and capturing their standards. Impact. This decisive defeat ended Roman expansion into Germania and solidified the Rhine as the boundary of the empire. The loss was a psychological blow to Rome, with Emperor Augustus reportedly crying, "Quintilius Varus, give me back my legions." 3. The retaliation, Germanicus campaigns, 14 to 16 CE. The campaigns. To avenge the Teutoburg disaster, Germanicus launched a series of retaliatory campaigns. He recovered 2 of the lost eagle standards and inflicted heavy casualties on the Germanic tribes. Key battle. At the Battle of Idus Diviso, 16 CE, Germanicus defeated Arminius in open combat, showcasing the might of Rome's disciplined legions. Despite these victories, Emperor Tiberius recalled Germanicus, deeming Germania too costly to conquer. Outcome. The campaigns demonstrated Rome's resilience but ultimately reaffirmed that Germania beyond the Rhine was unconquerable. 4. The Marcomannic Wars, 166 to 180 CE. The conflict. A century later, the Germanic tribes launched large-scale invasions across the Danube frontier during the reign of Marcus Aurelius. The Marcomanni, Quadi, and others pushed deep into Roman territory, even threatening northern Italy. Rome's response. Marcus Aurelius personally led the Roman legions in a grueling war of attrition, repelling the invaders and re-establishing control over the Danube frontier. His campaigns were immortalized in his meditations, reflecting the philosophical burden of leadership during a time of crisis. Significance. The Marcomannic Wars exposed Rome's vulnerability but also demonstrated its capacity to adapt and endure. These wars foreshadowed the increasing pressure on Rome's borders in the centuries to come. 5. Frontier clashes and Roman resilience. As the centuries progressed, the Germanic tribes repeatedly tested Rome's defenses along the Rhine and Danube. Key events. The crisis of the 3rd century, 235 to 284 CE, Germanic confederations like the Alemanni and Franks launched raids deep into Roman territory, exploiting the empire's internal turmoil. The Battle of Argentoratum, 357 CE, Julian the Apostate decisively defeated the Alemanni near Strasbourg, securing the Rhine frontier and capturing their leader, Cnodamar. Significance. These clashes underscored the constant threat posed by the Germanic tribes and the importance of the frontier as a defining element of Rome's military strategy. 6. The migration period and the fall of the Western Roman Empire. By the 4th century, external pressures and internal decay set the stage for the Germanic tribes to transition from raiders to conquerors. Key battles and events. The Battle of Adrianople, 378 CE. The Visigoths, fleeing the Huns, defeated the Roman army led by Emperor Valens, marking a turning point in the decline of Roman power. The sack of Rome, 410 CE, led by Alaric I, The Visigoths sacked Rome in a symbolic event that heralded the collapse of the Western Roman Empire. Odoacer's deposition of Romulus Augustulus, 476 CE. Odoacer, a Germanic leader, deposed the last Western Roman emperor, marking the end of imperial rule in the West. Impact: the migration and settlement of Germanic tribes within Roman territories reshaped the empire, leading to the formation of medieval Europe. 7. Themes in the clashes: the power of terrain and tactics. The Germanic tribes consistently leveraged their knowledge of the dense forests, rivers, and swamps of Germania to offset Rome's military discipline and superior equipment. Ambushes, hit-and-run tactics, and guerrilla warfare were key to their success. The adaptability of Rome. Despite catastrophic defeats, Rome demonstrated remarkable resilience. The empire adapted its strategies, fortifying the Rhine and Danube, integrating Germanic auxiliaries into its legions, and using diplomacy to exploit tribal rivalries. The blending of cultures. Over time, the Germanic tribes adopted elements of Roman governance, law, and religion. This blending of cultures laid the foundation for the post-Roman kingdoms that would dominate Europe in the medieval period. 8. Legacy of Rome versus Germania. The centuries-long struggle between Rome and Germania left an enduring legacy. Political boundaries. The Rhine and Danube rivers became defining boundaries of Europe, marking the limits of Roman influence in the north. Cultural fusion. The integration of Roman and Germanic traditions shaped the legal, political, and religious systems of medieval Europe. Symbols of resistance. Figures like Arminius became symbols of defiance, celebrated in German nationalism centuries later. 9. Conclusion. A clash that shaped history. The clashes between Rome and Germania were not merely military confrontations. They were battles of identity, culture, and resilience. While Rome's discipline and organization allowed it to dominate for centuries, the Germanic tribes' determination and adaptability ensured their survival and eventual triumph. 10. The evolution of warfare in the Roman-Germanic clashes. The prolonged conflict between Rome and Germania showcased a dynamic evolution in warfare. Both sides adapted their strategies, reflecting the changing nature of their struggle. Rome's tactical mastery and adaptation. Legionary discipline. Rome's strength lay in the discipline and training of its legions. Their ability to fight in tight formations, adapt to battlefield conditions, and maintain supply lines gave them a strategic edge in open combat. Defensive infrastructure. After the Teutoburg disaster, Rome fortified its borders with the Limes Germanicus, a network of forts, watchtowers, and walls along the Rhine and Danube. These defenses helped contain Germanic incursions for centuries, illustrating Rome's shift from offensive expansion to defensive containment. Integration of Germanic auxiliaries. Rome increasingly relied on Germanic warriors as auxiliaries in its legions, blending Roman discipline with local expertise. This policy blurred the lines between adversary and ally, especially as Germanic leaders like Stilicho rose to prominence within the Roman military. Germanic adaptability and strength. Guerrilla tactics. Germanic warriors used the dense forests and marshy terrain of their homeland to ambush Roman forces. Hit-and-run raids disrupted Roman supply lines, forcing the legions to operate cautiously in Germanic territory. Unity under strong leaders. Leaders like Arminius, Alaric, and Totila demonstrated the tribe's ability to unify under charismatic figures, overcoming their usual fragmentation. These leaders combined traditional Germanic warfare with Roman tactics, leveraging their dual experiences to outmaneuver Rome. Mass migrations. By the 4th and 5th centuries, Germanic tribes shifted from raiding to mass migrations, seeking new homelands within the crumbling Roman Empire.